Well, hello and welcome to Talking Data under India Hangout. I'm joined by Yashwant Deshmukh as always, Ejaz Ilmi, leader of the BJP, and Richa Pandey, spokesperson of the AP. The question that we are asking today is, would, first of all, the people of Delhi really support a referendum if it comes to that? The second question is, will they support a referendum if it's the Aam Aadmi Party asking for it? Now, the poll that C Voter has done, which Yashwant is going to talk about in a moment, says that 81% would support a referendum on the matter if it were to be held today, and if Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal wants a sample of 3,000 voters. Yashwant, take us through the quick the highlights of this survey, and before we get into the debate.
Well, the first thing first, as you mentioned, that more than 80% of the Dalits are saying yes for it. That they say that Delhi should be given a status of for full state, and it is hardly surprising in a way because all the political parties, be it Aam Aadmi Party, be it Congress, be it the BJP, have for so many years campaigned for full statehood to Delhi. So this public sentiment is not really surprising for me. The scope, or probably more than 80%, could be surprising for many. That's a huge number, and this is the probably the right time even to explain. Many of our viewers who have been asking question about the confidence level, the sample size, or the margin of errors. The way it goes, if you wish to understand all these things today, if there is referendum carried out in Delhi today, and if there are 100 times carried out today, the referendum in Delhi, 95 out of the 100 times, the result of that referendum would be within plus minus 3% of this 81% yes vote, which means almost 95 out of 100 times the referendum is carried out, the yes vote would be ranging between 78 to 84%. That would be the range, which is a reasonably yes, no matter what.
Right. So, Yashwant, can I sort of quickly butt in there? Now, again, on the poll itself, now these 3,000 voters are effectively saying that they want a referendum so that Delhi gets full statehood. Now, these voters are not saying it necessarily because it's the AAP government.
They are supporting the idea of referendum. They are also saying if there is a referendum today, they would be voting yes for
Delhi. But this is not necessarily because the AAP government is in power today, or they may be a different government tomorrow, right? So this is something they want for their own state or their own city of Delhi.
Of course, yes. This is why in the constituent question, when you try to relate with the politics of today, big number of them also say that not that this is going to change everything, not that it is going to solve all the problems that Delhi is facing, and not that this is we are supporting it because some political party is doing so. So as an issue, they are giving a support to it, but they are very clear as well that the political parties are playing quite a good political football with it, and they are probably not serious with the idea.
Right. Okay. So, Ejaz, let me come to you. This survey, if we were to go by what C Voter says, 62% of BJP voters have supported the quest for complete statehood, which of course has come from Arvind Kejriwal of AAP. So, how do you read that? Okay, Richa, can I come to you? I think we didn't get Ejaz there. So the question is, 62% of BJP voters, 85% of Congress supporters support the quest for statehood, but this doesn't seem to have anything necessarily to do with the current party in power. How would you read that?
See, one has to understand that before Aam Aadmi Party came into power in Delhi, there has been a long history of promises created and promises made and broken. Congress wrote in their manifesto that they wanted Delhi's full statehood. In 2004 and till 14, they were in center and they were also in the state, but they did not implement the full statehood. BJP's V.K. Malhotra battled in 2011 for full statehood. Deputy Prime Minister L.K. Advani wanted Delhi full statehood in 2003. Manifesto of BJP of 2013 and 14 mentioned, Lok Sabha and Vidhan Sabha elections mentioned that Delhi will be given full statehood, which means this promise itself means that Delhi people wanted, and these parties knew that having so many different structures and layers of governance is harming the public at serving a purpose. The moment they came into power, they forget about their promise and they make a U-turn. So this is a long battle which has been going on, and this promise, the time has come that this promise needs to be pushed and needs to be fulfilled.
Okay.
So the sentiment is there, and we want to hold this referendum for Delhi, for full statehood for Delhi, and try and convince the state who have promised to the same governments who have promised to the same people a full statehood in past, and now they have taken a U-turn.
Okay, right. So Richa,
it is not something new.
Yeah, okay. I'll come back to you in a moment. Ejaz, I don't know if we've got you back. I am still trying to get your reaction on the 62% of BJP voters saying that they would want full statehood. How do you read that? Okay, Ejaz, I didn't get you there. Yashwant, let me come back to you. Are we in the way the questions are worded, is it clear that people know that a referendum is perhaps not constitutionally possible in the manner that we are asking today?
Well, we were perfectly asking an opinion poll, and that's the point. I mean, there are two different things. If there is a referendum held today, then would you vote for a yes or no?
Okay.
That's a perfectly worded question, number one. Number two, the constitutionality of the referendum as such, I have always said it aloud. I have written it today again separately, that that it's unconstitutional, number one. I have never been against the idea of Delhi being given full statehood. I've never been personally against the idea of referendums as such as well. But I definitely know that within the spirit of Indian Constitution, within the circle of Indian Constitution, it is unconstitutional to hold a referendum. There is no idea of referendum in our constitution, to be precise.
Okay,
all the examples given by various Aam Aadmi Party leaders and the Chief Minister himself, they count about the Sikkim poll, they count about the Goa opinion poll, they count about the Pondicherry referendum as they call, but they forget that these were the areas not part of British India. They were not part of the technically speaking the document of independence, if you may call it. So they were held at that point of time, and they were asked even in the post even after having our own constitution, the referendum in question in Goa was called an opinion poll, not a referendum as such.
Okay.
So first of all, there is no provision for referendum whatsoever.
Right.
Last time we talked about the document that in 1978, as a law minister, Shanti Bhushan ji had proposed a change in constitution, but that context was different. That context was that India, after the emergency, and we just celebrated 40 years of emergency a few days back. India, after emergency, wanted to make sure that no matter who comes to power in times to come, ever abuses the power to take away the constitutional rights, the basic rights of Indians, and compromise with the democratic nature of India. That is why he had proposed that if ever anybody tries to change the constitution in a way that deals with the basic rights of Indians and the democratic setup of Indians, that change must be approved by 51% of Indians. But that was a proposal which was shut down in the Raj Sabha because Indira Gandhi.
Yashwant, can I let me interrupt you there quickly, and let me try Ejaz once more. Ejaz, are you with us?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can, loud and clear. So I was trying to get your response to the figure of 62% of BJP voters who seem to be agreeing for complete statehood. Now, is this a reflection of how they see AAP performing, or is this a larger quest for independence as a state?
No, actually, there are a large number of people in Delhi, as your survey showed, who would like to have statehood for the capital city. But the kind of statehood, the complexities of statehood, the contours will come about. There have been different formulations by all major parties like the BJP and the Congress for the last so many years. Secondly, now since Aam Aadmi Party has come, and they've spoken about it. They fought 2 elections, and they've already won the referendum. In terms of the actual referendum, is the election of Delhi conducted by the Election Commission, which they won. So they've got the mandate to govern in a specific area. Delhiites also understand the constitutional provisions of how Delhi was created. 239A says that X number of things are done by the state government, because of the union government has the responsibility of law and order, land and policing. So they also understand these. But does the statehood mean amending the constitution, or are we talking about something beyond that? These matters can only be discussed with the public, and a sample size of 0.05%, which is 3,000 people out of 1 crore 50 lakh voters in Delhi, would be I think we need to expand this dialogue into a much larger dialogue.
Right, but Ajaz, all samples, polls and sample surveys are like that, aren't they? I mean, you only take a small portion and then extrapolate, don't you?
I'm agreeing with the sample size. I'm agreeing with the sentiments. The sentiments, by and large, are for a statehood of Delhi. But how the statehood should come about, what should the contours be? Should the constitution be amended? Should we have a large discussion with stakeholders? Should there be responsibilities? Should political parties give affidavits that this is the particular manner that we like to conduct ourselves? Can 26 January be held to ransom? Can bureaucrats be locked out? Can women from African nations be asked to urinate in public? So there are a lot of things. Can you imagine the kind of mayhem it can unleash with the kind of sentiments which are shown by certain senior leaders and ministers of the Aam Aadmi Party?
Okay, so let me look at the next part, right? We're sticking to the survey, and we don't want to get too sort of deeper. I mean, too deep into the legality or the constitutionality, which in any case Yashwant has shed some light on. Now, 46% of the respondents were hopeful that this could bring a change. 26% disagreed. 28% actually said that it would have had no effect whatsoever. So you're saying that almost actually a majority don't actually believe that it will really work. Only 54%. So only 46% seem to be believing that this they were hopeful. It's not like they're sure that this is going to go all the way. So Richa, let me get your view on that. How even while this proposition has come from you, as in the Aam Aadmi Party, it does not seem to be resonating the way that it should, because you're not necessarily going to achieve your objective, at least if I were to go by the results of this poll.
See, we have to understand one thing, that it is very commendable on the part of Yashwant Deshmukh that they have conducted this opinion poll. And there is a difference, as you know, that before elections also there are so many opinion polls which are conducted. But many times we see, and in the recent past we have seen, that 5 days before the elections of Vidhan Sabha, Delhi Vidhan Sabha, Aam Aadmi Party was going to get only 18 to 20 seats. But now, after elections, after the results, the scenario was totally different. So with a 3,000 voter base, you cannot compare.
Right. Okay, Richa, we've lost you for a second. Let me come back to you. Yashwant, do you want to respond quickly on the statistical validity of this number?
No, I mean, I don't know how much are they expecting. If they are expecting 100% of Delhi to vote for their idea of referendum, I'm willing to give even that, hypothetically speaking, that if they go 100% of Delhi might even say that, okay, we want a Delhi full state. I mean, it cannot be more brutal, more than 80% saying yes. I don't know what will make them happy. But having said that, the idea that I was saying that it cannot be possible that they agree that the big majority of Delhi is saying yes to the idea of full statehood, and in the same poll, if majority of them are also saying that well, we don't really know this is going to bring a major change or not, or they feel that that political parties are more interested in doing politics over it rather than making it a proper issue of governance. That's the issue which I'm talking about. Right. And I don't really agree even with the idea of the BJP that having a full state out of Delhi is creating too much of trouble. The trouble is that is in the motive. BJP lost and crushingly lost the Delhi election, and probably I don't even remember when was the last time they had to face this kind of humiliating defeat by the hand of Delhi public. I mean, they have just behaved in a way largely that can only be seen a confrontation to be answered by another confrontation, which is also the strategy of Aam Aadmi Party, unfortunately. And majority of Delhi is looking at it, and they say that these two parties are not serious. They don't look serious about it.
Right,
Even if you get
and Yashwant, that's the question you've asked, and you've said who was doing more for Delhi. You said that 48% pointed to AAP and 30% to BJP. 22% believe that the two parties were fighting each other and wasting time. So that's the
almost about, yeah, I mean, majority. If you add that, almost about the majority of the saying, it's hardly make. It's gonna. Why don't you just focus, both of you? Why don't you just focus on the development? Why don't you just focus on the mandate that has been given to you, rather than running around and creating issues on this? And we know for sure that holding a referendum is unconstitutional. It's not possible. So it's basically the best that Aam Aadmi Party can do is to do an opinion poll in Delhi. That's the best constitutionally that they can do. And here it is an opinion poll saying 81% saying yes. So kindly take this opinion poll, make a political point, and go ahead with your governance. Don't waste the public money on holding an opinion poll on this matter. Thank you very much.
Okay, Richa, let me.
I would like to say something.
Come back. Yes, Richa.
Yeah, Yashwant ji, you have done a commendable job of surveying 3,000 voters of Delhi. But let us try to understand that there is a very strong sentiment in the people of Delhi that they want full statehood. On the one hand, they can see that center is not cooperating, and thus it is important to do a referendum so that we get their moral and popular support, and we put pressure on the government.
You cannot do a
Definitely,
referendum.
you are saying
you have the support.
You are saying
that mandate to govern. You have the support. Please, the governance.
You cannot do a referendum, madam.
Folks,
the same.
let me
we are not in a TV debate. Here the bandwidths are very bad. So kindly listen to me, and then as I am listening to you.
The same.
So let us first speak turn by turn.
The BJP.
Okay.
Done.
Can we speak?
The same public
please
is
don't
saying
speak out of your turn.
BJP.
Okay, folks,
done.
let me
Please
butt
don't
in there.
speak out of
Richa,
your turn, Yashwantji.
Full statehood. Done.
Richa, can I come in here?
Let me please answer. Please hear me out.
I am fully supporting you on this. The problem is
out.
we just cannot hold a referendum. That's the
We are not in a TV debate where I can understand what you're saying instantly and answer you. Please hear me out. What I'm trying to say. I'm saying a significant amount of money would be spent, but till now, hadn't we spent a significant amount of emotions, money, time, and energy of the people? And the money which we are talking about belongs to people. We are spending it on them. We are trying to understand 3,000 is not a very huge base. While I'm saying that what you have done is great, but please understand, we are talking about a population of 1.5 crores. Why should even 1% be left?
Right, Richa,
Second, I'm trying to say that
You
there
want to
has
make
been precedences in this case. In Gujarat, Narendra Modi ji had conducted a referendum in April 2009.
No.
In Telangana, there was a referendum. Gujarat, they did a referendum to bring the black money. In Goa, there was a referendum whether they wanted to merge with Tamil Nadu and Maharashtra. And on the referendum, I want to say that in 1978 Union Cabinet, Janata Party leaders Vajpayee ji and Advani ji wanted to have referendum, but they lost. So we are not contesting here about referendum.
Right.
And even if it's not in constitution right now, it will be in constitution.
Richa, can I interrupt there for a second? Richa, can I interrupt there for a second?
There is a moral obligation of BJP and Congress. And please do not undermine that sentiment.
Okay, Richa, I think, see, the question was, which I was trying to get in while both of you were fighting, was that the opinion was divided on whether a referendum would actually solve issues related to governance and order. Okay, hang on. So the poll question was, will this fix the problems of Delhi, right? Assuming you've got statehood, what will happen next? The question that I'm asking is,
assuming we do not hold a referendum, do you promise or anybody promises we will get a full statehood? No. We have to do what we can do.
No, that's fine.
Referendum is the first step towards that, towards building moral and popular pressure on government.
Granted. The question is,
are aware about their rights.
Can I just
we would expose the doublespeak of both Congress and BJP.
Yashwant, 1 minute. Yashwant, just hold on.
Statehood and both have withdrawn.
Richa, the question is,
We heard
see,
the
people
BJP.
don't seem to believe, if we go by this survey, people believe that statehood will also fix the problems that they face on a daily basis. And 54%, you look at the numbers, 26% disagree completely. 28% feel that it may not have any effect.
So you are trying to discuss on the survey right now.
Yes, absolutely. I am only asking about the survey.
There have been so many surveys and opinion polls just before the elections. There's opinion polls just like that. It's an opinion poll of a particular organization. Let us have the opinion of the people directly.
Okay.
Can I have
This
a
is
fact check,
opinion
please?
poll. The questions
Excuse me,
framed,
can I have the
they
fact check?
are done by the voter.
Okay, got it.
They are not
Okay,
done by Delhi government.
we've got your point. Okay, Yashwant?
I am not against the idea of referendum, Govind.
Yeah.
I am not
No,
against the
we're
idea.
not saying that.
But I must do the fact check right here, right now. The referendums that our colleague is talking about are not the state-sponsored referendums. The referendum she mentioned about Modi, you see, there is a very fine line. Aam Aadmi Party is free to use its party funds to hold a referendum in Delhi, but not the Delhi government. Aam Aadmi Party as a party is free to hold referendum across India with their own funds, but the Delhi government cannot hold a referendum with public money. That's the fine line that Aam Aadmi Party is refusing to understand. Let me be again very clear. I am not against the idea of referendum. Aam Aadmi Party or the BJP or the Congress, all the parties are free to hold 1,000 referendums with their own money. Nobody is stopping them. But as per the constitution, the government or the Delhi government or any government in India cannot hold referendums with their money, with the public money.
Okay.
That's the fine line.
Ijaz, thought from
Yashwantji,
you.
I would like to answer here that Aam Aadmi Party is checking right now with the respective bodies in the state, and we are trying to find a way. If it is possible, we will do it. If it is not possible, will BJP-led central government will let us do it? No. So
No,
where is
because
the
it's not
question?
the constitution.
Let's go
That's
step
the
by
point,
step.
ma'am.
No,
Ma'am,
let's
I
go
am
step by
fully
step. At
with you.
least for the first
I would
time
be the-
after
I
winning an
would be the
election,
happiest
a
person.
party is
I
seriously
would be
talking
the
about
happiest
referendum
person, ma'am.
or full statehood for Delhi. At least
Ma'am,
we
I
are
would be the
trying to
happiest
stick to our
person
manifesto
the day
promises.
the idea
You
of
should appreciate
referendum
that,
is
Yashwantji.
included in the Indian constitution.
Okay.
I would be the
Yashwantji,
happiest
we-
person the day
who
the
will-
idea of
who will
referendum
allow us
is
to do-
included in the Indian constitution.
How
At
is
that
it
point of
possible to
time,
do? How is
government cannot do it, ma'am. That's the only point which I am, humble point
That's
which I
what
am
I'm
making.
trying to say. That if it is unconstitutional, we will not be allowed to do it. That's what I'm
That's
trying
the
to
point.
say.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
I am totally with you.
Okay,
I am
Ijaz,
totally-
can
we
I-
should be happy that a party.
Richa and Yashwant, hold on for a second. Let me get Ijaz in. He's been silently watching all this while.
Please.
Ijaz?
So,
Yeah, can I come in, please?
Yes. Go ahead, Ijaz.
I've heard this debate with a lot of mirth, and very happy that these strong points are coming out. It's very important to understand that something that is unconstitutional cannot happen. But if the Aam Aadmi Party is willing to have a large opinion poll covering a large section of Delhi, they should have questions that we got the mandate, the referendum, the real referendum was elections. We came to power the second time. Are the roads fixed? Is the sewage fixed? Are there new schools? Are the new electricity poles put? Is everybody getting water? Have they fulfilled the mandate?
is under MCD for kind information, sir.
Talk about it further. Please don't interrupt me, Richa ji. With due respect to you, you're a
So
spokesperson.
please don't mislead people.
Let me complete
You
my
should
idea.
say-
Let me complete.
Oh, you
Let me
should- you
complete.
should
Let me
tell
complete.
about
Let's not put me
MCD
out here.
right.
I allowed you to
Yeah,
speak.
let him complete.
Right
Richa, let
now.
him complete. Yeah.
Let's have the same rules that apply to you, apply to me also. Secondly,
Yes,
my request to my friend Yashwant Deshmukh would be to conduct an opinion poll with four new questions that
Yeah, what are they?
does a statehood that's demanded by Aam Aadmi Party means that bureaucrats' offices can be locked up? Secondly, will citizens from other countries like Africa, will they be subjected to racial abuse? Thirdly, will people like Manoj Kumar who indulge in land grabbing, will they be set free? Will people be allowed to forge degrees? Will people? I want this question also asked. People must know that this is also possible in a statehood. So the reality should also be known to the people that there are complexities involved. The kind of people who can actually create havoc and they don't know when to get off agitation and when to get into administration. These are important things that the Please, Yashwantji, you must ask these questions to the public of Delhi. We must get their opinion on the reality.
Okay, got it. Okay, so I think we've run out of time. So let me ask one final question to all of you, and let me begin with you, Richa. If assuming statehood was there, are you in some sense promising that you will be able to do better than what you are? Because the suggestion and the feeling seems to be that even with what you have as a party, you've not been able to really deliver much.
See, if there are two things. If we get full statehood, there will be many agencies which are not under our control right now. We will be getting them, and it will be easier for us to deliver many of our things and new things also, new promises also, new milestones also we can achieve. But the second point is, who says that we are not delivering? If you look at our 100 days of performance and compare it with 1 year of performance of BJP-led central government, I mean, this is the comparison I'm asking you to make. Please do make. Please see that on our 70-point agenda, we have initiated more than 50 points. Pilots are going on more than 50 points. Be it women's safety, marshals are already in buses. 1,000 marshals were in the first phase. And so many things, health, sanitation, education, everything. So who is saying it will take time to percolate and you will see the results? But media is not very friendly with us many times. So I would request you to do a program on what all we have achieved. And my friend from BJP should learn from us and, ask their the central government to deliver some things other than just U-turns.
Okay, got it. Thank you, Richa. Ejaz, last word.
I would like to learn a lot of things from the Aam Aadmi Party, but definitely not how to lock up offices of bureaucrats, not allow people to function, and to hold people to ransom, and be in the agitation mode after having the mandate to govern.
Ejaz, the question was, if there was statehood, would that help? No, if there was statehood, if you were in power, would you actually deliver on some of the things that you say you would deliver? I mean, let's keep all the part about people being locked up aside for a moment.
Well, with due respect, we've had an election. I wish them the best. If they deliver on the mandate that they sought, and they will get another chance. If they don't deliver, they'll be decimated. And the same goes for any political party. If you deliver, you will succeed. Right. Otherwise, you are bound to get decimated.
Right. Okay. Thank you so much, Yashwant. Last word, and very quick one. What's the next poll that you're going to do on this subject?
Well, the series of the polls are going to continue, but I believe that our poll answers most of the question. One point which I wish to make and very clear, that in the same survey, a big number of public is saying that the Delhi Aam Aadmi Party government is doing much more for Delhi than the BJP central government at the moment. So even public is appreciative of what Aam Aadmi Party government is doing, but at the same time, precisely for the dogfight that we have been witnessing every day, day in and day out, they also feel that this issue of referendum is largely raised just to deflect the political talk. Personally, I have always campaigned for a direct democracy. Personally, I would be the happiest person when the idea of referendum is included in the Indian Constitution. But at the moment, it is not there. At the moment, the best the Aam Aadmi Party can do is an opinion poll at their own funds, not with the public exchequer. Right. And this is why I am happy to have done this. And thank you very much for carrying it. And I will just happy to get a thank you note from Arvind Kejriwal saying that you saved a lot of money from the Delhi public exchequer, that you did it, and we are not going to waste money of Delhi on this exercise.
You said party. You saved party funds, not Delhi exchequer. Okay, we've run out of time completely. Yeah. Thank you all for joining. Thank you, Richa, Ejaz, and Yashwant. We'll be back on India Hangout very soon. Stay tuned.